Yeah.
I
That
just
was such a tough loss, dude, because like the end of the game, there's just so many things that I felt like didn't go in our favor.
seriously. I mean, I was sitting at dinner and I watched the first half and then went to dinner. And I was with some friends and I like had just kept looking at my phone and I saw I got the box score for or the final score from the third quarter and they were down 13 and I was like, all right. Then I pull my phone up and it's what like 89, 85 with 4 to go or something like that. And I was like, guys, I got to put this on. Hold on, you know.
Yeah. Literally my dog, it was like you said, like a 13-point game, and then I had to take my dog outside because um, she was literally about to take a shit on Will's rug. So I like ran her outside, and she like waited, didn't do anything for a little bit. I came back, and all of a sudden it was like a 1-point game, and I was like, oh wow. Um, but no, that's tough because we obviously had like four. Even at the very end, we had like four chances for a tip in. Marcus Smart's probably should have been considered a shooting foul, although it wasn't really like in a natural shooting motion. He's still like I think his attempt was there to try and shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Just a lot of things didn't go in our way. I thought like I don't think the refs were bad on one side or the other. I just thought they were just overall bad. Like
Yeah.
I just thought it was a weirdly officiated game. I thought there was a lot of calls that were um like kind of ticky tack that were called, and there's a lot of them where like Giannis is trucking Robert Williams, and it's just a no call. It's like it just was very very weird, weirdly officiated game for Game 3.
100%, especially after a a relatively decent uh, officiating output in games 1 and 2. I mean, we can sit here for 2 hours and talk about the Giannis offense. You know, just head down, no real basketball skill needed, just run through people. Um, but it seemed that wasn't a massive issue in games 1 and 2, and Giannis just sort of took advantage of the the lapse in judgment from the officials. I think.
Yeah, I mean they called it like once early, and then they're like, okay, well maybe he'll stop, and he just didn't stop, and like, well, we can't just call 4 offensive fouls on Giannis,
No, that's
so they
impossible.
didn't. They stopped. No, that game was tough. Giannis kind of dominated, and I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but Robert Williams doesn't get hunted even on switches. I don't think a whole lot just because of his length. Like I don't think a lot of guys want him because, um, even if even if they can like dribble by him, he's so long he can just like contest and alter shots. But Giannis, dude, just tries to pick on him like it's crazy.
Mhm.
Like he wants Rob, he wants to take him off the dribble and just try and dunk on him just to prove a point. I think. So that's always very rare. I think Alan Grant have done as good of a job as you can guarding Giannis. Once again, I think Grant, dude, like I can't say enough good things about Grant Williams, like how he's played defensively this series. Um, I was just looking it up. His top two assignments this playoffs have been Giannis and KD, and he's held them. Giannis is shooting 52%, which is below what Giannis usually shoots, with 3 turnovers. And KD obviously held to 30% and was turning the ball over left and right.
Mhm.
So, I mean, he's done a very good job defensively. He's been hitting all the shots we needed him to. Al Horford was huge yesterday offensively as well.
Yeah.
While Tatum struggled, like Horford was able to hit a lot of big shots, and like we necessarily don't really rely on him to make many threes, but he was coming through in the clutch for sure for us and in a lot of big spots. And he really like, if we had another like tenth of a second left, I think we could have that shot would have counted, and he would have sent the game into overtime. So that's or yeah, sent into overtime. So that would have been that really sucks, but
It does, yeah. I just got a little update here. Sacramento Kings agreed with Golden State assistant Mike Brown to become the franchise next coach, 4-year contract.
yeah, probably good that's not like Mark Jackson or
Yeah, Mark
I don't know. I
Jackson.
mean, Mike Brown's still kind of a retread coach. I feel like he's had a job for a long time though.
Uh, let's look it up
Let's
because
look at Mike Brown's basketball reference page. Mike Brown. He's the one, isn't he LeBron's uncle?
potentially I don't know.
I thought that was one they mentions Mike Brown.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, he was last time he was a head coach was Cleveland, which that's what I thought. 13, 14.
yeah, So that's been a while. Yeah, he's an associate head coach of the Golden State Warriors, though.
Yeah.
2009 Coach of the Year, 3-time NBA champ.
As a player, though, or as an assistant coach?
With Golden State,
With
17,
Golden State,
18.
yeah.
And then 2003, he was an assistant on San Antonio's team.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a while. He hasn't had an opportunity in a while, but I don't know. The Kings are just I don't really. Seems like every move the Kings make is a wrong move.
It's their career guy, 100%.
Yeah, you saw Tyrese Halliburton just kind of go off as soon as he got traded. But I would like to talk about Game 2 just a little bit. I think that was a fantastic game. Obviously, I think I said that was a must-win game. We couldn't go to Milwaukee down 2-0. Marcus Smart was out. Derek White was inserted into the starting lineup. Did diddly squat. I think he had 0 points.
Except for a plus 22.
Yeah, I mean, he had 0 points. I mean, the whole team played well. Like, I'm just saying offensively, like, Derek White has not really looked that great. Grant, once again, had another big game. I think he had 21. I think that was the game he had 21.
Yeah.
Jalen had, 17 in the first quarter, something absurd like that. I think he finished with 30. He did leave early with a hamstring. We saw that may have bothered him a little bit Game 3, but he was pulled a little bit earlier than the rest of the starters. Tatum played well. Tatum had 29. Just a dominant performance and something we really needed going into that because we couldn't have fallen down. We couldn't have fallen down 2-0 going to Milwaukee. Like that would have been a steep task, a steep thing to overcome.
Yeah.
So that was a huge win. How's your confidence level feeling headed into Game 4?
It's relatively high, to be honest with you. The fact that Jason Tatum shot let me just pull it up real quick.
He was like 3 for 20 at one point.
Yeah, he ended 4 for 19, 0 of 6 from 3.
I definitely wasn't 3 for 20 then. He was 4 for 19, not great though.
No. He makes one more basket and the game's a win. He makes 3 more baskets and we're coasting to the lead in that fourth quarter, like it just.
I mean, they did a good job defensively on him, but it also seemed like he had quite a few opportunities where he was like driving to the lane against a smaller defender and just wasn't able to finish around the rim, which had been a problem with him in the past. I thought recently he had gotten a little bit better at that, but yeah, you can't just be going 4 for 19 in a playoff game when you're the team's star player. That's really tough, and it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really hard to win if they do that.
No, but I guess my point in bringing that up is that I don't think that that's going to happen again.
Yeah,
like there's ample opportunity for Jason Tatum to get his shots up to make more than 4 baskets. So my confidence level is relatively high. Let's get another fan's opinion. Rick's right here. Confidence level going into Game 4.
6.
6. All right.
Okay. I mean, I like it. I still think the Celtics can win in 7. I think that just the depth of this team that we've shown. I mean, we're not a crazy deep team, but I think we have enough depth and enough defense just continue to wear down. Like Giannis obviously had a big game, but Giannis hadn't really been Giannis the first 2 games. I think we did a good job containing him.
Right.
Maybe last game might have been more of a fluke with our defense as opposed to what we had seen the first couple games. That's what I'm hoping, at least.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think we saw with like the Nets series, like at the end of the series, like Kevin Durant didn't want to shoot the ball. I don't think Giannis is going to do that, but I think Giannis is going to get very tired of playing this defense. I mean, the same could be said about Jason Tatum because this Bucks defense is certainly bringing the physicality just like we are.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think without Middleton that we have better secondary, tertiary scorers than the Bucks do.
Yeah, I would take Jaylen Brown over Drew Holiday, and I'd take Al over Brook Lopez.
Yeah,
in both situations.
Yeah, so. And we also have the added wrinkle. I mean, we just have a lot of like really good guys, like Robert Williams, obviously super solid player. Marcus Smart's another guy can get hot. Yeah. I really think that Derek White should probably decide to maybe like hit a 3 every like one or 2 times.
He shot 2 for 3 from 3 last night.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that wasn't a terrible performance. I was just thinking game two, he was in the starting role and he really didn't play a whole lot. We went like triple big
Right.
at some points just because we like needed shooting.
Yeah.
We needed some physicality, and I think that if Derek White's just not gonna be able to hit shots and they're not gonna need to guard him, it's really gonna be tough to play him a whole lot against this team.
I agree, and that's one of the. It's probably the biggest concern going forward, outside like health wise.
Yeah.
Biggest concern going forward is the input of Derek White and the continued success from Grant Williams.
Yeah, because they were just sticking Giannis on him on the minutes that they were both on the court, and Giannis was able to just roam free without the threat that Derek White was going to hurt him from deep, which is something we can't be having. Like we gotta when Giannis is on the court, we gotta have all of our guys at least a threat to shoot, aside from maybe Robert Williams.
Right.
You really can't have too many guys that are less than average shooters.
But we have seen over the past 2 games 2 jump shots from Rob. He's feeling comfortable taking those 10, 12 footers, which adds, like you said, just another wrinkle that, I mean, Brooklyn has that too with Brook Lopez,
and that's why this team's, I think, I mean, obviously we've done pretty good so far, but just harder to defend because they do have a lot of like Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez are good shooting bigs, which our strategy most time like we don't really like to have that. We like to kind of have to be able to hang off guys and really be able to crowd the paint. It's hard when their centers are hitting a bunch of threes.
yeah. And I mean, Milwaukee also has, I think, a little bit better shooting off the bench. I mean, Grayson Allen was in the lineup with who was it that was out? Grayson Allen started. Oh, they just switched the starting lineup.
Yeah, they just moved it around. I think Bobby Portis didn't start.
Right. But Pat Connaughton hit some big shots against us too. I mean, he didn't have an awesome game, 3 for 8 from 3, but every time he touched the ball, it looked like he got a good look, and those shots are going to fall for sure.
Yeah, I think Wesley Matthews hit his only 3 of the game. I think he hit in the fourth quarter. It's like, of course, like Wesley Matthews doesn't do anything all game, then hits a big one.
Mm-hmm.
We have game 4 tomorrow. Then it returns to Boston for game 5 on Wednesday.
Yes.
Game 6 is Friday. And so Sunday, I'm guessing it'll probably be a little bit later, but we could probably stay up a little bit later and record after the game. So probably have the series will be over by the time next week. So do we want to have a prediction of what we think is going to happen from here on out? I don't know if we made a pre-series prediction, but
I don't either. But I am going to stay away from it.
Yeah, I do hope the Celtics in 7. I think it's gonna be tough to win it in 6. I don't think we'd be able to rattle off 3 straight games against these guys. I think there's gonna be a dogfight either way. I think at the minimum it goes 6 for either side. I don't think Milwaukee rolls us the next 2, but I think we're too tough of a team to just be rolled like that by Milwaukee. Any other hot takes about this series right now?
No, I can't wait for the last 2 minutes. That should come out tonight, right?
I think it already did. I think they said the Marcus Smart call was the correct one.
Was there any word on him being fouled after the rebound either?
No, I think that might have been the one they said that was a non. Yeah, that should have been a non-call. It was called correctly, which kind of surprised me. Like it seemed like there's a lot. I mean, I guess like at that point you're swallowing your whistle, but it seemed like there's a lot of contact in there. A lot of people just jumping.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Marcus had the rebound, and Bobby Portis had both arms around his neck.
Yeah. Typical. Bobby Portis seems to have his arm around people's necks quite often in these playoffs.
I mean, when that hard foul on Giannis, he was the first one there to throw Grant to the ground.
Well, he had one against Levine too in the first round. It looked like he wrapped his arm around Levine. I think the only person on the injury report for game 4, Sam Hauser, was out with a shoulder injury. So I'm wondering how that happened.
Right. He's been on the injury report all series though.
I guess I haven't really paid attention to that.
Yeah. 5 incorrect calls listed in the last 2 minutes, but the league said Marcus Smart non-shooting foul was correct.
Yeah. So I guess that was the one I read. I'm sure there's significant plays. Like we said, hopefully the reffing was a little bit better. But also the Celtics just played really poorly offensively. Like I felt like it was a lot of there's a lot of bad shots taken, a lot of easy shots that were missed. I like even though we didn't, I mean, we still scored what 101 points. It was 101, 103.
Yeah.
Like even then, we still had put up a decent like overall performance. I just don't think the Celtics are going to play that poorly offensively. Although like we did have a couple guys that really kind of were exceptional, especially like thinking of Al Horford. Like Al Horford really carried, felt like he really carried this team. I know he wasn't leading scorer, but felt like he did. Played way above what he normally does. It really stinks wasting a performance like that out of him.
Yeah, 100%. The last thing I want to say, you brought up the point total. The Celtics had given up 103, 101, and 86 points in these 3 games, and have lost 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is just yeah.
It's a testament to the discrepancy between Brooklyn and Milwaukee's defense, but with our defense playing at the level it is, keeping a 2-time MVP and the reigning champs to right around 100 points or less, and not be able to squeak out at least 2 of those games is tough for a top 5 net team, top 5 offense. Like,
yeah, I think, like I said, we just looked very sloppy the other night. I think if we continue, I think defense is the easiest to be consistent at. So I'm hoping we continue these defensive performances. Even with Giannis scoring 40, we still held them to 103, which is I think pretty good. I don't think a lot of the role players are going to beat us too often. So I think if we continue to play defense, I think the shots are going to start to fall. I think if we're really going to need to get back to what we did game 2 to be successful. And a lot of that's just hitting open shots.
right.
It's just something you can't really game plan too much. I mean, I think we had enough opportunities. I think we missed quite a few of them. But no, let's hope for Celtics in 7. Make this quite the series. And then if it's looking like there's some life in the other series too. I mean, it was only
Dallas hit 23s today. They kicked the doors in on Phoenix. It was way closer than closer of a game than way more of a blowout than the box score indicated. Dallas played incredible.
Chris Paul struggled mightily. I saw
he had 4 fouls at the end of 2.
I think he finished with 6 points and 5 fouls.
Mm-hmm.
It was not great, but in out east, Miami dropped a game to Philly. Embiid looked pretty dominant in his return. Like Bam had been dominating the first 2 games, and he was kind of held in check this game.
Yeah.
And he's obviously such a difference maker. I think either way, we're gonna have some great series as long as Embiid can stay healthy enough to continue playing throughout. Like I just think he's that much of a difference maker.
Yeah.
I mean, the Eastern Conference, like I'm just really liking how it's shaping out. Like as long as the rest of the team stay relatively healthy, like I think it's gonna be a very entertaining Eastern Conference Finals. And like we said, like the Sixers probably excluded from this, but the 3 out of the 4 teams left are really good defensive teams. So I think pretty much any matchup of the Eastern Conference Finals is going to be a pretty low scoring affair.
Absolutely, going to be a lot of bully ball, especially. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Miami wins the series, but especially whoever comes out of this Celtics Bucks series against Miami, going to be a slugfest for sure. And I think to round out the last series, I think Golden State and Memphis is going to go to at least 6 games.
John Morant's out for Game 4.
You're right, and Golden State did put the run the brakes off them last night.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be tough to win with them. Actually, I mean, I don't know. They were incredible. Like Desmond Bain probably have like 40 points or something crazy like that. Like
I think Desmond Bain's hurt too.
Really? I didn't see that.
They saw some sort of back injury.
I just know they're like 19-2 or something crazy without Ja this year.
Right. Yeah. It's bananas.
So maybe they'll be fine, but I can't imagine in a playoff series, especially how well Ja's playing. I can't imagine that losing him, they'll be able to squeak one out against this Warriors team.
You never know. Maybe Dylan Brooks goes on his revenge tour for being suspended, and then just has a hell of a game tomorrow night.
So we pretty much covered all the NBA games.
Yeah.
We can just talk about some other things. The Red Sox stink.
Red Sox,
I really hope that the Celtics continue playing just for the fact that I can push off me watching the Red Sox consistently because they don't look like they're very fun to watch. Their offense stinks. Trevor Story he still hasn't hit a home run, right?
Right.
Bogarts is probably leaving. Their pitching staff hasn't been that great, especially their relievers. Seems like we've blown a few leads.
The starters have like a top 3 ERA in the league.
Yeah, like I said, like I think it was mostly the relievers. I haven't been able to watch a ton of games. Like I said, I'll probably watch more once the Celtics are out. But it's not looking pretty. I think they need a jolt. They need like a player with some real energy at the deadline. Or maybe just
the deadline's in 2 months, buddy. We need someone now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess earlier I guess it's only May. I wouldn't mind just JBJ just going away and just calling up some of the young guys, just kind of provide some different energy.
Yeah, I mean,
Durant some more looks.
I think one of Duran, Bobby Dahlbeck, who sucks, bag of fucking baseballs for him. But Duran, Bobby, or a guy like what is it, Jeter Downs could get us a solid, competent back end of the bullpen guy right now with years on a contract. You know, I don't know who would be in the market for that.
I wouldn't want to give up one of the young guys like Dahlbeck. Like I don't know, he's struggled his first few years. Yeah, so I don't, and we have Cassis too, who can play first base as well.
Cassis can be up tomorrow if I was.
I wouldn't mind trading Dahlbeck for some pitching help. I wouldn't like to trade Downs or Duran. I feel like we haven't seen. I feel like we should at least give them a chance.
We saw Duran last year and he stunk.
Yeah, but that was like what the end. It was like September. He came up like the September call ups.
Yeah, probably, but I mean,
I can't really like. I would like to see him like in a consistent sample size. I think whatever he's doing is probably better, at least offensively, than JBJ. I know JBJ is a great defender, but
JBJ's hitting pretty decent at the moment. I think he's like,
really?
I think he's second or third on the team in extra base hits. I'll just do a quick little stat look up.
I'm looking it up right
now. Jackie Bradley. Oh no, he's hitting 202. Yeah, 202. Never mind.
Yeah, it's not great.
Bobby Dahlbeck 139. Alex Verdugo. Hold on, sorry. Alex Verdugo 212. Christian Vasquez 217. Franchi Cordero 222. Trevor Story 194. Kike Hernandez 176.
Yeah, those are not good numbers. No, not winning baseball. The one last thing, how'd you like the Northman?
I didn't watch it.
You didn't wind up watching it? I did wind up watching Doctor Strange too.
How was it?
It was solid. My spoiler-free review was, I think they should have just leaned in all the way to like kind of the horror elements. I know, I guess like midway through they switched directors, so like I felt like a lot of the humor was out of place. They had some really cool fight scenes, some really cool visuals. I like the story a lot. There was a lot of like fan service. If you're a big fan of Marvel, I think you'll enjoy it. Like I think it's still a solid movie. I think it's above average for Marvel, which is usually a high quality movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think that if you want to watch, I think if you were to watch it though, I think you should either watch WandaVision if you have time, the whole series, or just watch at least like a recap so you know a little bit what's going on, because a lot of that show ties into the movie.
Okay. I've been wanting to watch more like Disney Plus shows.
Yeah. So if you watch that one, like that'll give you enough to be like, okay, that's why. It'll tell you a lot. Like it'll make a lot more sense. I couldn't imagine watching without it.
Line of WandaVision.
What?
What's the basic plot line of WandaVision?
She basically like creates a town and brings back Vision, who died in Avengers Infinity War.
Yep, I
know that. She like starts a family with him, and basically like controls all the people in this town to like live a life, and like each episode's taking you through a different decade. So it goes like 50s, 60s, 70s, or 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, like 2000s. It's all like different like sitcoms based in that era.
Okay.
But yeah, and is basically the thing. She's just trying to like pretend like nothing happened and just try and has enough power to just completely take over the minds of every single person in this town.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. But
all right. Maybe that's
I was slacking and I forgot to grab my charger. I don't know where it is. So I don't know. I think we covered the series enough. We only had 2 games, which is kind of weird. Like that was a long layoff. But
yeah.
Like I said, like we'll have potential of 4 games between the next time we talk. So
right. Last thing, Bruins evened up the series. Goaltender switch, back to home ice.
right? Sways the way.
Sways the way. Yeah. So the switch up. He's given up 4 goals in 2 games versus 9 and 2 for Ullmark. So I guess we're gonna ride him. See what happens when we go back to Carolina on Tuesday, I believe. So it's series tied up 2-2. Carolina's got a hopping barn though. They got a big fan base down in Raleigh, and the team's got playoff experience, so it'll be a dogfight. Best of 3 coming up. So
let's hope that that Swayman can stand on his head, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. Using your hockey terms, baby.
That's like the one hockey term I've heard. Stand on your head. I definitely won't be watching that game unless maybe the Red Sox are like that pitiful and the Celtics are out. I probably won't be watching any Bruins.
What?
I'm just not a.
Playoff hockey's great.
I'm sure it is. Just not. I'm not really just hockey. I don't know. I know like 2 players on the Bruins. I know like Marchand and I know Swayman. That's about it.
There you go. Okay.
I want to name another player.
You can't?
Okay. Well, no, I don't think I could. Does Krejci still play for them?
No, Krejci retired at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, see, like that.
He moved back to wherever he's from, Czech Republic or something.
Yeah, see, like I just don't know hockey players.
Yeah, that's all right.
But
okay. we got Celtics tomorrow.
Bruins, then again on Wednesday,
Tuesday.
So hopefully by the time we're talking, we're doing a preview for the Eastern Conference Finals by next week, or we're gonna kind of do a season in review. But hopefully it's the Eastern Conference Finals preview.
Yeah,
because either way, the series is gonna be decided.
Right.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Well,
you got
see you next week, pal. No, I'm all good.
Alrighty.